Hello, my brothers. Good morning. Oh, I have returned, my brothers. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to make game devs today. Woo! But before we begin, I hope you had a good day yesterday and you all made progress on your games. But today, first we're gonna talk about, is early access good to do? Game Dev Talks early access. I'm gonna do early access for my game for sure. But let's see what I hope a professional has to say about this.
Hey everybody, I'm Alden from Valve.
Good morning.
And this talk is called Steam Early Access 2020.
So this is not a developer, but that's a guy, an engineer with Steam. Let's see. Hello there, my brothers. Good morning, good morning.
In this talk, I'm going to be exploring how game developers are making use of early access, how they're preparing for early access, and what's changed about the program since it started in 2013.
I think the best thing from early access is that you get two, I don't want to call it visibility rounds, but 2 ways to advertise your game. When you go into early access, you can do a 20% discount. It can be like a big patch. And then together with the 20% discount in early access, it's going to send out an email to all your wish lists if you have farmed a bunch of wish lists. Because there are games that release without wish lists, but with wish lists, you can do like a big push. And that oftentimes coincides with then 10 reviews, and then with the 10 reviews it pushes your game very high because it gets into the Steam algorithm and stuff like that, into the discovery queue, and then it pops off, and obviously after that it ripples down. And oftentimes early access is also used to farm some money for the developers so that they can fund the development of the game, the further development. And if it works out, the game will hopefully slowly grow, which I'm going to show you an example of that later.
So let's get started. When I set out to write this talk, I did so with some questions in the back of my head that I had been hearing from game developers over the past few months.
Yeah.
In particular, developers have been asking me, is early access still relevant?
I think so, yeah.
Is it interesting to players? Is it a good model?
And this video, importantly, this video came out 14 hours ago. That's the important part. Okay, it's not just that this video is 2 years old. It's very important that this is a recent video because the Steam algorithm and the Steam landscape can change very drastically over a short period of time. So this is accurate data from literally today.
For game developers. And is early access different now than it has been in the past?
I think it is.
So over the course of this talk, I aim to answer these 2 particular questions.
I think in the past what Steam did is for early access games, it gave them natural visibility and a push in impressions, which basically means they advertise your game. Maybe they took that away.
And a few
I would
more.
assume.
I set out to ask a few developers that had gone through early access recently.
Make it
I
a bit
reached out to the
faster.
developers that have been entering or exiting early access within the last year and asked them a number of questions about their experience.
Thronefall was early access. I didn't know that. That's interesting. I want to see. Is it still early access? Thronefall. Steam. I guess it's released. Oh, it is released now, but I guess it was in early access before. When was that? Oh, wow. So it was in early access 2023, and that's where the most amount of players were. That's crazy. You see that, guys? Impressive. And then, like, it never really got I guess a little bit of a higher baseline. So what I like to do in these graphs oftentimes, and I do that for my own streams and for my own YouTube videos, I don't judge by the peaks. I judge by the valleys. And the valley for Thronefall, to me, I mean, I guess it moved here a little bit, but it's difficult to say why the valley is so deep here. I think the valley of Thronefall never moved. So why do I say this, right? Obviously, this is important. To me, it looks like the game did not change enough to move the baseline from what it is higher. Now, this could also be because the genre is very simple, like the game is very simple and there isn't much to do anymore. But yeah, interesting to see. Because games that can, let's say, go up, for example, this Terminus here. Terminus Steam. This game actually increased his baseline over time, somewhat. It was in early access, started with like 5 players, 4 players, and over time the baseline just kept increasing. You see that? And so that's what I mean for what you can do with certain types of games. If you keep working on them, if you keep working on them, you can increase the baseline. And the biggest proponent, or the biggest one that I can think of, is Stardew Valley, of course. This game is insane. I just don't know how this guy is doing that, man. Look at this. The baseline of Stardew Valley over time just kept increasing. Every time this guy made an update, it just kept going up. So this is like a Mr. Beast YouTube graph that just keeps going up. I wonder if this guy ends up with like 200, 300,000 concurrent players, in like 2027, 8 or 9. It just keeps going up. It's so crazy, man. Holy, this is even more than AAA, most of AAA games. Hi, Cakez, have a good stream. Thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate that. Yeah, today is going to be a short stream because Zoe has birthday today. And yeah, we're going to spend the time together with Zoe.
Well, things they tried that didn't work well. I'm going to distill down the feedback that I'd gathered from these game developers and hopefully into a form that can be useful for you as you consider whether you want to bring your game to early access or not. Through my conversations with the game developers that I've been chatting with, the answers to these questions are yes. It is still clearly relevant as a model for game developers and players.
I'm gonna do it too, because I think early access is great to, let's not say farm some money, but to fund the development of the game and see if the game does have an audience. If you don't go into early access and you spend, let's say, 2 more years on your game and then you find out that it's not commercially viable, you lost 2 years. Kinda.
Players, and it is also different now than it has been in the past. A quick look at the organization of this talk. We're going to start with a primer of what is early access, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Why and when to use early access. How to prepare for launching into early access. How to manage your time during early access. And when and how to transition to 1.0 and leave early access.
Oh, yes, please.
So early access, what is it? At its core, early access is a framework of messaging to support development in cooperation with players.
True.
It is not a marketing tool. It is purely a set of messaging to help set player expectations.
I guess, yeah.
About how you want to engage with them in game development. In particular, it impacts a couple of ways that your game shows up. On the homepage of Steam, we have a new and trending list on which early access games cannot be included. Games can be included there once you transition out of early access to full 1.0.
Yeah, we know that, right? Also, so you cannot go into this one page.
Early access games get this nifty widget that explains that your game is in early access and gives you the opportunity to answer 5 different questions about how you plan to use.
Yeah, and some games never leave that stage, huh? Which is obviously a bad sign. It's a red flag.
Early access, how long you plan to use early access, what kind of feedback you're looking for, and so on.
Jonathan Smith, thank you very much for $10. What the hell? Wait a minute, let me play that notification.
Jonathan Smith.
Yeah,
my man, thank you for $10. Birthday cake fun.
I appreciate that a lot, man. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you for the support. Yeah, I appreciate that. The birthday cake for Zoe. Thank you, man.
And so forth. In particular, this helps set player expectations about how you wish to engage with them and what you hope to get out of your time in early access.
Yeah.
So that's what early access is, but is it still relevant?
Yes.
A couple of points that give us some confidence that it is still quite relevant for both developers and players are just the number of games making use of early access. Right now, across the Steam store, there are over 14,000 games available in early access mode. That doesn't count the games that have already transitioned through early access to 1.0.
That sounds like a really popular among devs and players. Okay, so these games are the popular games, but it's not counting all games, because all games would be insane.
No.
I'm pretty sure there's way more than 14,000 games released every day, right? How many games release every day on Steam? I mean, I guess 14,000 is a bit much. How many games release every day on Steam? Oh, actually, it's only 50. Okay. It's not that much, actually. Okay.
Over time, we see more and more games choosing the early access development model. So you can see here steps of more games releasing as early access over time, culminating in 2000.
But this is not because more people do early access. It's just that there are more games releasing, and therefore this graph is going up too. So this is misleading in a way.
And 897 new titles released as early access in 2024. We were curious how this compares to the overall number of games releasing in any given year.
It's the same graph.
And what we see here is a fairly steady rate of early access.
Huh? Wait, fairly steady percentage of all releases? You mean to tell... No. There are more games releasing every day. This graph is wrong. The graph for released games on Steam is just completely different. Graph released games on Steam. Over... Yeah, there it is. This graph here. Annual released games. So this goes up, then naturally this goes up too. So as you do, as there's more... Oh my god, I'm literally just the sun, man. God damn. Stop. Goodness. Sorry about that. Sorry. So it's the same graph, man. What is it? What is the second graph here?
New to the early access releases as a percentage.
Fairly steady percentage of all releases?
Year. And what we see here is a fairly steady rate of early access releases as a percentage of all releases. So you can see somewhere between 13 and 19% of releases in any given year were...
The second graph is how much of the games that released are early access. Oh, I see. So I see what you mean. So yeah, it's steady. Makes sense. Since the amount of game releases increased, but the percentage of what of these games are early access has been steady
early
over
access
time.
releases. There's no clear trend upwards or downwards. So you can...
No, I'm not natively English, okay? Leave me alone, okay? I'm trying to learn. So I'm gonna ban you for 5 minutes. Then you come back and then you be nice, okay?
You can see that as a percentage of all releases, early access has held fairly steady. One of the points of data that gives us the most confidence that early access is still relevant and interesting to both.
Oh my god, all of these games, Hades is, oh god, damn, all good games, bro.
Both developers and players is the percentage of top releases coming out that are early access. If we look at the 100 most popular releases that came out in 2024, 28% of those titles were either going into or coming out of early access. So early access is not limited to games of less interest or anything like that. They're still quite popular, and you might recognize some of these titles shown here as being some of the biggest releases of 2024.
Oh, yeah. Palworld was great.
So why and when are developers choosing to use early access?
Yeah.
I'm going to look at some of the responses I got from developers that I talked to about how they chose early access and why.
Okay.
One of the teams I talked to were the developers behind the game Drill Core.
Hey Cakez, hope you're doing well. Thank you, Mr. Tasdic. I really appreciate that, bro. Hope you're doing well too, man.
They told me that an early access release would allow for a longer development cycle that would enable them to create a much deeper and content-rich version of the game by 1.0 than would otherwise be possible.
And what they don't talk about, but I guess someone else is gonna say it too, you can also test how commercially viable your product is. You release the game into early access, obviously you're gonna need to do playtests before. That's important. You can't just make a game for 1 year in isolation, like with like a horse with these whatever that is next to it, like you just look forward and then all of a sudden you just release your game. It's like, here we go guys, early access, please buy my game, and then no one shows up and you're like, wait a minute, why is no one showing up? What's going on here? No, you have to play test your game, whether that be through itch, there's nuances, but mostly through itch, or through Steam playtests and demos. Very important. If you don't do that, then you're gonna be up for a rude awakening and you're wasting your early access launch. So that needs to be done before,
the developers of Thronefall told me that they really cherish the feedback from actual players.
By the way,
that would help them.
And, for the donation. Sorry, I didn't say hello. And Mr. Philip, good morning as well. Hope you guys are doing good. Give me 1 second. Let me change that like this.
Develop the game into what it could do the best.
Yeah, this is the one part that I want to. Like, I have a community on Twitch, I have a community on YouTube, I can ask you guys to play my game, but you know me. And while most of the time you guys are very contrarian to me, which means you give me some really harsh feedback, maybe over the top sometimes, I need actual gamers that play my game and tell me if they like it or not. And that's what you can get from early access. And a demo page too.
Daedalic Entertainment, which has more than one game in early access and has released many of games in early access over the years, was able to tell me that they really focused on the teams within their publisher that were interested in engaging with the community in the way that early access supports and encourages. In general, the top reasons that game developers gave me for wanting to use early access was so they could spend more time for the game to get developed. They really wanted the player feedback to give them confidence in the direction that they were developing. Their teams wanted to be engaged with players. They enjoyed that development model, both for having confidence in the direction they were heading, but also just part of the morale of the team. And they all described having a systems-based game where there were many...
We just glanced over this, but this is actually a really important thing to say. Listen to this again. It's a simple sentence, but it has a very deep meaning. Listen to it again.
With players, they enjoyed that development model, both for having confidence in the direction they were heading, but also just part of the morale. They really wanted the player feedback to give them confidence in the direction that they were developing. Their teams wanted to be engaged with players. They enjoyed that development model, both for having confidence in the direction they were heading, but also...
They wanted to engage with the players to have confidence in the direction they are going. So what that means is essentially you put out a feature for your game. You give it to the early access players by updating your game on Steam. Then the players tell you, you do a post, right, on Steam, and then the players play the game and they tell you what they think. That is essentially you testing out a feature. Because you know how, I'm pretty sure many of you have encountered this when you're making a game. You get to a point where you can go either to the left or to the right. And it's two different outcomes. And you don't know which one is gonna be better. And so the only solution really is to go the A route, the one that you're feeling more comfortable with, or you think would be better maybe, but you don't know. And then you implement that, and then you're like, okay, it's implemented, it feels good for me, now I need some feedback. You will give it out to the players and they tell you what they think. And that is most of the time, usually you get to these crossroads all the time. Very important. We have another collector ban for an hour. See you later, bro.
Just part of the morale of the team. And they all described having a systems-based game where there were many combinations of different mechanics within the game.
Oh, and by the way, Mr. Amida, thank you so much for 200 bits. I really appreciate the big support, bro. I really do. My man.
Thank you, Mr. Elmida, for 200 bits. Cakez is so advanced, he released his demo in early access.
Soon. Well, this is what I want to do this year, yes.
From players to be able to test the variety of different combinations and edge cases that could arise. So how do developers choose to prepare for early access? What are some of the things?
Demo page and doing Steam Next Fest before to get like demo page or playtest. This is what I would do after having done basically mostly all of the mistakes that you can do. I put out a playtest, get feedback. With the feedback, try to make the game as stable as possible, change it to where people like it, then put out a demo page, get early days feedback, like the first 1 or 2 days, try to work as hard as possible to fix all of the mistakes there. After that is set up, the demo page, and it obviously needs to align with the Steam Next Fest. I do Steam Next Fest. I released the demo a little bit earlier than Steam Next Fest. That's what I meant by like a couple of days, maybe a week padding, so that you can fix all of the glaring issues with your game before Steam Next Fest. Then you do Steam Next Fest. Ist noch am Schlafen. That's good. And after you're done with Steam Next Fest, that's when I would go into early access. Because Steam Next Fest is gonna give you a huge boost, not only on wishlists, but also in feedback. And with that bump, early access is possible. That's how I see it. If the feedback is positive, of course. If they all hate your game, maybe you need to spend a little bit more time changing it. That's what I would do.
Things that they consider ahead of time leading into their launch into early access.
In that case, you're not making something you believe in. You're letting other people tell you what to do. Or is it or it's a very commercial game? No, that is not true. So, for example, there's 2 ways to implement a shop in the game, for example. I have literally showed you yesterday. There's 2 ways to do it. And I still have it open. I think it's better to show it like this. So you can either have the shop like this, or you can have the shop be intrusive and show up the entire page. These are 2... F11, bro. There we go. These are 2 different ways to implement a feature, the same feature in a game. And it just so happened that we did that just yesterday. Now, how do you know which of those 2 versions is the better one for the majority of people, but you're fine with both? You have 2 solutions that you like. You're still making the game that you want to. You're adding a shop into the game. And for my case, that is an in-game shop that you can access while playing the level and you can buy items from. You're still making what you want to do, but the player feedback steers into the direction that most players would want it to have. And so you're maximizing the fun for your game because you're listening to your player base. It's like the big old Path of Exile problem where feel the weight of picking up items and then you have to click a gazillion times and people hate it, and then they have to make changes. They need to adjust which items you pick up and which items are auto pickup. And so that's like a constant balance between the developers having their vision and the players giving their feedback. Because if all of your players quit your game, well, glad you made the game for yourself, but you're the only one who is enjoying it. And can you pay the bills with that? Can you feed a family with this? No, you can't. And most people actually need to do that in order to get out of their job. So yeah, anyways, long story short, feedback is the most important thing. And no, it's not like you're not going to make your own game anymore. That's not true. You're still making your own game. You're just listening to feedback.
One of the first things that I heard from a number of teams was making sure that their team was excited to engage with players and organizing their team and their process around engaging with players in that way.
Yeah, exactly.
So what does it mean to plan their process? It really means looking at how they're going to be communicating with players, figuring out...
I think the way to communicate mostly, if you don't have a Discord, I think Discord is actually mandatory at this point to communicate because it's just a better medium at the moment. Then, for example, Twitter, you can do like a post and people can post there, but it's not like a really big conversation. I think communicating Discord and then the Steam posts are very important too. To get what's it called? To get attention to what you're doing. Like big Steam posts, and then people can react to those.
How often they're going to update, how often they're going to communicate, where they want to communicate with players, and expecting also and preparing their team to adapt along the way because things always change and you don't know what's coming next. I asked a number of the developers if they had concerns going into early access. Many of the teams felt pretty confident after doing quite a bit of research on other games that were using early access. One particular developer told me that their main concern going into early access was meeting player expectations. This was a theme that I heard come up a couple of times, not necessarily in the context of...
I don't feel that way though.
Concerns
I wonder why he feels that way.
It does arise when developers are thinking about how does early access work now and what level of preparation do they need to have their game in before they go into early access.
100%.
A lot of players, like, they expect a fully finished game, so it is definitely not a place to throw out a prototype.
They at least expect a couple of hours of playtime, yes. Like, you can't put half an hour of playtime into your early access game and then call that an early access game. No. You definitely need to have a finished gameplay loop and enough content to last for a multitude of hours. The more you have, the better, yes.
It still feels like you need a...
Because you're selling the game. You're expecting money. It's not free, so people have to pay money, and the moment they have to pay money, you need to deliver. Of course.
Fully finished game with tons of content in order to like make a good impression during early access. Kind of have all the bones of the game in there, but you don't necessarily need all the content or every feature.
So how do they build confidence? What kind of things do they do to prepare to make sure that they knew the game they were launching?
Man, I pre-watched this video like 10 times. I know exactly what I'm talking about because I made all the mistakes. So there we go, Steam playtest, and then you do a demo. Yes, and demo page too.
Launching into early access would land and resonate the best with players. Many of the game developer teams that I talked with described some process for playtesting prior to early access. Many of them described a number of steps in progressively larger play.
I think one of the best things you can do, because I've done all of these. I've done a demo, I've done a playtest, and I've done 3 demos actually, and a playtest. So quite a lot. I tested a lot. I've not done keys yet, but keys would be together with a private playtest. So I invite people. I have 10 keys, and that's what I'm gonna do next, private playtests. But essentially, I think one thing that people are sleeping on is Discord streaming. You can ask someone you know that maybe didn't play the game yet and is interested in helping you. You can ask them to play your game through Discord while streaming it to you. And then you can see what they do in real time and you just sit there and observe. You don't have to meet up. You don't have to go to like these conventions, set up a big booth and then ask people to playtest. No, you can do this right now, today. If you have something to play and you want some feedback on it, ask someone you trust that will tell you, give you feedback, and then they do that for you, and that will change the world for you because you will see things they don't know, that you don't know. Huh?
Playtests to help.
Doch? Oh. ey. Muss das so viel sein, Mann? Das ist verrückt, ey. Yeah, she just woke up. She was sleeping. Sleeping. Oh. Oh. Hey. Cakes, another great way to receive feedback is to give a game for testing to a kid. If they don't get bored and play it, you know you did something right. Kids are sincere in their feedback. Ah. Hey, I need that, Zoe. I need that. 9. Yeah, we're gonna go outside today. She has birthday. 1 year. With 1 Jahr bist du. Oh, 1 Jahr. It's 1 year already. That's crazy. No. Happy birthday. Yeah, moin, Hobbly Gobbly. Good morning. Hope you're doing good. Yeah, we're gonna wait to continue watching because my wife is currently almost dying. Is mopping the floor. We need to wait a bit. So yeah, I think that's really important, and I'm gonna do that actually next. That's what I will try to do, to see, like, this is what we did with you guys playing the game to me on Discord, and was very helpful. Like Sturdy Post played the game, Nay and Codes played the game, and I'm missing someone else that played the game too. But yeah, I'm very happy about the feedback that I've gotten from this. Can we have Zoe do the react instead? When she grows up, she will be proud to have Millionaire and Gamedev. Yeah, I don't think so, man. I'm gonna try to do my best making good games, but you have to realize that this is like the top. Let me say it like this. Even a game like Thronefall, who has like 20,000 reviews, since this is a team of 6, I don't know if these guys are actually made $1 million each. Because the game sells for 12 euros. You would have to do the math on that. But you divide that by 6, you pay taxes. It's difficult to say. They're just... No, there was a team of 6 as far as I know. Development team. Not 2 people. $3.99 best I can do. What do you mean $3.99? For Thronefall? Happy birthday, Zoe. Thank you. Yeah, happy birthday, Zoe. Thank you guys on YouTube too. Appreciate it. Guys, it's finally 30 degrees outside for me. I'm so jealous. A few weeks ago when Cakez talked about the weather in Germany, I was so jealous. Where do you live, bro? Hello there. Good morning. First message. You want it to be 30 degrees, bro? I don't. It's way too hot. You're sitting on 42 degrees. Where do you live, bro? In Africa? What the hell? That's crazy. 42, yeah, that's like, I've never experienced, I think, 42 in my life. That is insane. Hey, Zoe. Happy birthday. She will finish Tangy TD one day. Yeah. Just wait, bro. Just wait. Okay. Let's see here. Shall we make an experiment? How much Thronefall actually earned? Steam revenue calculator. Let's see. So they have how much? 20,300 reviews. It's multiple millions for sure, and then it's, well, dollars is gonna be $15. So that's 4 million. You divide that by 6, that's less than $1 million for each here. See what I mean, guys? And the thing is, this is the net revenue. Steam Cut is taken away already. VAT sales tax, so you do have to pay that, but you have to pay a bit more on that. So if you divide this by 6, you're like, how much you're sitting there? It's like 900,000, something like this. For 6 people, maybe 800,000. It's close, for sure. I'm pretty sure that Jonathan Smith, that Jonas Tyrola is a millionaire, 100%. Because he has other games, right? Yeah, let's see. Can we see the developers of Grizzly Games? Yo. No. Let's see. Grizzly Games. Oh, that's on SteamDB. But you can't see the developers, can you? You have to go to Steam, I think. To the store page. It's actually already here. And then Grizzly Games. I think you can find out the developers. Can you find it? Maybe not. Looks like you can't. They've sold at least 960,000 copies 7 months ago. Use Game Analytics. They just showed 2 people. I checked. Oh wait. Okay, wait. What? Let's see. What's Jonas Tyrola's? Tell us about the Steam algorithm. So I was going off of this post made by the marketing guy for game developers, for indie game developers. I don't know, Chris Zaworski, I think is his name, and he showed this here. And for Thronefall, it says that it was. Where was it? Where can we see that? 6 man years of work, 2 man. Oh, I see. It's a 2-man team. Sorry, I missed that. Well, okay. So then I'm totally wrong on this. I must have misconstrued the 6 man years with 2-man team. Yeah. So I must have misremembered. It was 2-man team. Damn. Okay. So then they have a lot. That is a lot. And how long did they work on this again? 3 years of development, okay. Yeah. Massively successful. He's not worked with more than 3 others, I think. So I think they have like 5 to 15, you think? I don't think 15 million. 960,000 copies sold 7 months ago. Let's see, calculator. 950,000. 960,000 actually. You can multiply that by 12 euros. That's 11 million. But yeah, then you multiply that by 0.7, right? But that was 7 months ago. Console too? I don't know if it's on console. Diamond, the game. That's still a lot of money, man, I'm gonna say. That's before taxes, but still. You divide that by 2, that's 4 million each. Holy. Cakez should stop looking at... I'm just looking at this because Zoe is sitting on my lap and I have to wait for my wife to finish mopping the floor. So I'm just looking at this to kind of kill some time because we are currently talking about games that went into early access, and the game Thronefall was one. And listen, like... I can look at your game too, right? Crystal Guardians. Which is an early access game. And I can go by your numbers, which I think are impressive as well. You're saying you're earning between, how much was it? $400 to $1,000. I think it was dollars, right? Not euros. A month on your game, early access game. That is insane. That is an insane amount of money a month for an early access game. For an indie developer, solely indie developer. So I think your game is also very successful. The peak was at the sale in January this year. The peak. This peak, you mean? The 1,000, you mean? So it's actually less. It's like up to 800 or something, maybe. Not to 1,000. I think that's still a lot. Yeah. It's between 400 and more. every month. 500 euros a week after tax. How many sales would there be? They sold the IP of Islanders. Yeah, they did. Yeah, I know. No one knows what they got for it. Yeah, they got probably... I don't know. I can't really say. I don't have enough experience with that, but they got... If they sold it, they must have gotten quite a lot of money. Now, let's hope that Islanders still stays a good game, right? Because Islanders did have a player base that is comparable. Islanders here. Yeah, you see the player base here? It just never goes down very much. We'll have to see the recent reviews. That's important. If they go down because the developers change. 89, 94. No, it doesn't really look like much yet, but we'll see. Right, last update April 1st. Actually quite active. Zoe, I need that microphone to talk into it. Will you also promote it via ads, Cakes? We'll see what I do. I see some ads on... what is it called? I do see the ads of game developers advertising their games. And I think I even saw a game that someone advertised on my stream before. We looked at the Steam page. On Reddit, on X, right? I see these ads. It's in between posts. These are obvious, right? But they can help. They can work. I usually scroll over past them. I've never once clicked on an ad. But I have a very high ad resistance. Because I just don't buy stuff. Right, like my resistance is like 90%, 95%. For an ad to work on me, it's gotta have a lot of ad penetration, which usually doesn't happen. I always hear that Google ads are never worth it for indies. I don't think so either. You've got some good armor, yeah. Like, listen, I don't see a value increase in my life, in happiness, if I buy more stuff. I don't think happiness comes from owning things. I think happiness comes from doing things. Zoe? No. Nicht das Kabel. Okay. Werde ich jetzt gleich? Echt jetzt? React all day? Yeah, I mean, I can't do much with Zoe in my lab, bro. I mean, we could try to do some coding. You guys want to do some coding? It's better to reach out to content creators. Yeah, I think so too. Happiness comes from family and Mövenpick ice cream. True. True. Chocolate chips Mövenpick ice cream. 100%, bro. Agreed. Zoe, I need that. Stop pushing it away. I did advertising too for Ox and X for around 30,000 euros over 10 years. But it was worth it. It made around 30,000 plus, so the ads paid 101 for itself. The app gained more awareness. But like, that's difficult to say. I agree with you that maybe your ads worked if the game earns that much, but you don't really... Do you have a comparison point to before advertising the game? Here we go. Whoa. Like, let's say you don't have a comparison. Yeah, previous month and after. Wait, you spent... Wait, but you said over 10 years you spent 30,000. So, do you have... Zoe 10 out of 10 troll, yeah. Rent in-game space for advertisers. They will promote your game so that players could see ads. No. I see what you mean now, bruh. I tested someone's off and someone's on, yeah? I see, and but that's a crazy amount of money. So basically, you just got your money back from advertising. So if you didn't do any advertising, you wouldn't lose money, but you also wouldn't gain money because of advertising. So it's like I would say that's a zero sum, or am I missing something? You obviously have more awareness for your game But it's not boosting your sales past the investment. You just grow users. I see. Okay. Okay. I'll do what I want, Dad. What is that? What is this? Huh? Agreed. Zoe, I need that. Stop pushing it away. I did advertising too for orcs and Hey. True. Comment from the past. I'm not watching live yet. When you watch Playtester Discord, when you watch Playtester's Discord stream, restream it to private YouTube stream so you can rewatch it later. Oh, smart. Or you record it, yeah? Recording or watching it on YouTube as well. Watching it on YouTube is very helpful because you don't need to store it on your disk. You always have it. That's actually really smart. That's a good idea, man. I'm gonna write that down. Damn. Yeah, let's see. Playtests. Demo to-dos. Roguelite version. Playtests. Feedback. When you playtest, when you watch playtesters, Zoe. There we go. The thing about money is that it buys you time. You see that if you use that free time for your happiness, it all depends on you. But yeah, buying shit won't fill a void. Yeah, true. See, that's what I mean. So I see, yeah, that's what I mean. Exactly. So that's why advertising don't work. It doesn't work on me because advertising doesn't give me more time. It literally just decreases my time. That's true. So let's say I see an advertisement for a product. That is not gonna give me more time. If anything, I spend money on the product and now I have less money, aka less time. Exactly. Yeah. And yeah, it's just that once you have like a place where you live, you have clothes to wear and you have boots to run in, like you don't really need much more, right? You as long as you can do the things that you want to do, there's not much more you need, right? Zoe? You know, guys, I'm really proud of Zoe. She turned 1 year today, and she managed to walk before 1 year. Very proud of it. I call that a big milestone. 9, Zoe. How would you add multiplayer if your game... 9, Zoe. If your game builds a single player status seems to be in a refactoring hell at this point? You mean... wait. 9, Zoe. Go away. Not this one. That's not good. Stardew Valley is in refactoring hell? There's no way, bro. Absolutely. I just don't believe that. How can Stardew Valley be in refactoring hell? Let's see. Stardew Valley. Let me see. Steam. Oh my god, Steam. Let's see. So usually what Steam does, it shows the update patches. Where can you see this? Where are the Steam DB update patches? Content for this game. Reviews. News and noteworthy, I guess? Or is that no? Eh? Where can I see the news on the game? Am I stupid? Write down? Eh? There? Where are the posts? Did he not do a single post? Am I just blind? Eh? Where are the posts? The update? No, not the update history, guys. I want the posts, the community posts. Did he not do a single community post? Guys, I want this. I'll show you. Steam. What the hell? Guys, I want this. Where is it? Let me see. News. No, wait. So you go into library, then you look for Stardew Valley, and then you can see these posts. Exactly. These posts is what I'm looking for on here. Usually they are advertised in the middle of the page, somewhere here. So, for example, if I go to Zoe9, Steam, the king is watching. Is early access good? Maybe ask me this on Friday. Okay, I'll ask you on Friday. When you go to the Steam page here, you can see the posts here. Wait, no. Here. These are the posts. View all. This is what I'm looking for Stardew Valley. So it's just news app. Let's see. Wait, how do I do that? Like that. And then we copy the app. Good. And then we put that here. It doesn't have any posts. Huh? Am I stupid? News app. Yeah, I did. Whatever. So I was looking at these. So when you're saying the game is in development hell, December? I mean, half a year ago, big update? Stardew Valley patch 1.615. And then in December 2024, Stardew Valley Steam Award. Okay, that is just the Steam Award. Steam Award nomination. Merch holiday sale. Another update in November. Another update in November. Another update in November. November. April. Patch notes. I don't know, man. This does not look like a development hell to me. Especially when you compare that with how popular the game is on SteamDB. It just keeps going up. How can you say it's in development hell when the updates are constant and frequent? Right now, it's been like 7 months since the last update, but maybe he's preparing a big update. And also he's working on another game. So, I don't know where you got that from. You need to go more into specifics on why. Let me see. Bro, use Game Melodic. It's super helpful for wishlists and revenue. Okay, I'll try to use Game Melodic more. Update. I don't know exactly, but it comes with a bigger upgrade. Update. So I just don't agree. Let's see here. Oh my god, look at those patches. There's quite a lot. Here. Look how many things he did in this patch. Balance changes, quality of life changes, gameplay fixes, multiplayer fixes, cosmetics, and then changes, and then a Christmas tree because it's Christmas. I don't know. He had some additional help with multiplayer and now shifts his focus on Haunted Chocolatier, leaving Stardew Valley to the people supporting him. Not 100% sure, but that's how I remember it. Valley, yeah. I don't think the game is in development hell at all. So I think I think if anything he did it the right way. He put out a single player game first. And then over time took his time to add in multiplayer correctly. And then fix the issues with multiplayer over time. So I think he did it correctly. Anyways, guys, I need to wait on this because Zoe is still here. I guess we'll just continue. So, yeah, let's continue here. Build confidence in your game. Yeah, with playtests, exactly. And a very interesting comment about playtests on YouTube was, if you are having your game, your buddy play your game on Discord, you can actually restream him playing the game to YouTube in a private YouTube stream. You set up an account to YouTube and then you activate streaming on YouTube. Takes like a day to activate. It's really easy to do. And then when you can stream to YouTube, you also restream it to YouTube so you can keep rewatching what they do. And so you have like an infinite video. You don't need to store it on a disk. You can also record it if you want to, but maybe you don't have enough disk space if you do it a lot. And so that is very helpful to have. And then you have like a small little library on your YouTube of private videos that you can watch where people play your game.
Get that confidence. So they might start out with handing out a few keys to friends of a really early build of the game.
Yeah.
Once they get a little bit further along, maybe they use Steam Playtest to open that up to a much wider group. Maybe then they release a playable free demo so that an even wider group of players can enjoy a slice of the game. Doing this deliberate and increasingly larger playtesting and gathering the feedback that came from players during each of those phases gave these teams more and more confidence that what they had was ready.
Guess I can't watch the video like that. Because Zoe is literally right next to me. Zoe. Hello, Mr. Cupertino. Good morning, bro. Hello. Guys, how long do you type these welcome messages? What do you do? Like, it's literally you're adding the entire chat, bro. Very good idea. Yeah, I think it's a really good idea too. Zoe? 9? Zoe 9. Gotta be careful, she's right behind me. They are polite. Okay, bro, they're polite. Okay. I think I saw an interview that he's pretty much done with Stardew Valley for now and focusing on his chocolate game. You know what I find crazy? If he actually said that. Like, he had a game that was gaining traction. It just kept increasing in player numbers. And he's like, yep, I'm done, boys. Let's pack it up, make a new game. That's crazy. Guys, I don't think that the chocolatier is gonna beat Stardew Valley at all. Do you guys think that the chocolatier is gonna be more successful than Stardew Valley? I don't think so. The chocolatier. How do you even type that? The chocolatier. Ape. How do you search that? The chocolate. Tier. Zoe. 9. Nicht da. Stop. 9, Zoe. Chocolatier. Haunted chocolatier. There it was. Haunted chocolatier, Steam. Is it on Steam already? It's not on Steam even. Haunted chocolatier gone. It was ever on Steam. No, it wasn't. That's crazy. That was like watching it. Listen, I have a baby next to me that is constantly trying to pick up a something that is in a power outlet, but the power outlet is so unstable that if you rip it out like this, the entire power outlet and the cables come with you. Because it's like a shitty old house here, man. It's like, yeah. So I'm constantly having to watch her Afternoon, good afternoon, Links. Zoe, 9. Not that. That's not good. Spooky. Yeah, okay, guys, I'm gonna do some programming while we wait. So, I guess I'll talk about what I did off stream. I think I finished the shop. This is what it looks like now. You can click on it. It goes on and off. You can click off to basically deselect the shop. Then you can put items in the inventory like that. Buy items, essentially. Control U, let's get some money. When you re-roll and you have an item that merges with another item, it does a cool upgrade effect. And like some stars. I want to do the upgrade effect a bit more cool, but that's what we have so far. And yeah, you can also right click to buy items like this. Really cool stuff. And apparently you can still buy items well past the whatever that's called, the backspace, which is not good. Obviously. I don't know if I like the fact that the shop is always visible. It's not always visible. What you're talking about? It's only visible if you click on it, and then it's not visible. It's like an in-game element. Ah, the baby's first electrocution. Yeah, maybe not with like the power outlet voltage. That would be nice. But show her what's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm gonna die then. Demonstration is key. Get a Stromschlag. Yeah, of course. No, man. This is a power outlet. Okay? When you get a hit from that, I think you can actually die. Especially in an old building. Hello, Mr. Null Exception. Hope you're doing good, bro. So has he done a notch and can't move to the next project? You mean me? No. Why? Hey Ramis, good morning. How you doing, bro? It's been a long time. But I also didn't have much to... Like, the game kind of staled a little bit, bro. Slowed down a bit. I do have a to-do list of things to do, but it's getting washy. It's many different... Like, the to-do list has gotten too big. What do you guys do in your game studio when the list gets too big and maybe even out of date? You just spend a couple of days tweaking the list. Doing good. On a 3-week summer break now, so it's lovely. Oh, that's awesome. You're gonna go out into another country or something? We switched to Godot. You work through it. Yeah, I guess starts a new list. Am I correct? Yeah, tasks will inevitably fall behind, and at some point, if a task hasn't been touched for 6 months, it's probably not that important. So what do? You just clean up the list then? You go through the list, and then you delete the old stuff that you don't do anymore? This to-do list is only increasing? That's not true. I could remove the stuff that are done, or I could literally adopt I could re-adopt my Trello board for this. I give up. Could be the Trello board again. That being said, however, I would need to generate different sections in the Trello board. Yeah, we clean it out once in a while. We have weekly planning meetings, but we try to keep it extremely short. So the big cleanups are rare. Okay, yeah. So I see. I think it's natural. Okay, guys, so let me quickly see why you can keep buying from the shop. I think the reason why is when you press the secondary button. Once a week, do a backlog grooming. You keep on the top of the list. To keep on the top of the list. Then clean up and move the done to the separate section, or create a Trello Cakez. What do you use, Mr. Ramis, in your game studio? Maybe you can't say. Do you use Trello or like something similar to Trello? Do you know what Trello is? Okay, guys, give me a sec. I can actually unpause notifications.
Good morning, Giga Clown. Fuck Cakez, fuck pirate software basic. Lonely of each us. Sport speaking.
The guy who set all that up is completely fired now? Really?
Smart hello hell doesn't exist. Don't be afraid
Jira?
of death and you
We
will
use
be
Jira?
stronger. Hop in your tap every evening and never turn it off. Add Blee arc to the food
Right,
and
not
throw
fired.
it in
Oh,
the
I see.
forest and the sea with the plastic
Gamedev,
lid.
thank you very much for
Only
following.
will own. I'm destroying the world.
Let me
You
see.
can't he help me by doing these.
Coach. Where's my coach?
Code
we go.
formatters.
Ah, guys, I'm a little bit distracted. Zoe's right behind me. I just want to make sure that she's safe. Right click. I did that yesterday. Where's the secondary button? Selecting, deselecting, merging, sorting items. This is in TFT, right? Yeah. Needs to be here. Secondary.
Make a good game and don't market it.
Yeah.
The
No,
money
wait,
will
that's
come to
primary.
you.
If it's hot. Where's the if hot? Hover item. Hover item, deselect item. Ah, if it's hot and we press the secondary button. Ah, there it is. This follow is wrong. Ah. Inventory item index is 0. Inventory item index is less than game state save state the backspace. Inventory item index plus plus. So that's the follow up I actually need to do, because we should only get 3 items from the bag and not all of them, because I have more. There we go. Then we can get an item from the bag and see if it's none, and then we can get it. If not, oh, I guess I didn't do that. I need to do a bool space and bag is false. And then over here we have space and bag is true. And then if we have no space in the bag, then we do a floating message that says string space or something. Backspace or something. Back string inventory full. Inventory full. And on the position of, since we are right clicking, it should be the weighted item position. Oh, that would be the item position. I think that's the UI position. There we go. Very nice. Okay, so now when I open the shop and I buy more items, it should show me that the item is the inventory is full. Very nice. Not enough oranges. Inventory full. Very simple. Cool. Yeah, and I also fixed this. Very cool stuff. Der hat die ganze Zeit gespielt. This. We hate task tracking software. We don't use any of that garbage. Our producer has a rough timeline in Figma of all things. The rest of us have text files or whatever works for that individual cakes. Oh. Interesting. Okay, so basically something like I have. I'm just wondering, right, on the workflow. What if you tick off a task? Do you just remove it from the list? What do you do? So for example, that item sits on the bottom left. What about space? Space limit. Combine items recipe. When they don't fit, they don't combine. Like, I've done these 2 tasks, right? I just moved them down below to a done line. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. I'll do that too. So your done thing is actually There we go. Done. But you don't keep the sections, right? You just put everything in done. I use 2 panes. I use 2 panes in the text editor. Move from left pane to right pane when complete. Pretend Trello Kappa. Oh, actually not bad. It's a good idea. So how do you do 2 panes? Can you split the view here in a way? Can you split it? Always toggle
Am I
full
so out
screen.
of touch?
No, Mr.
Trumple
Trumple.
1000 just subscribed.
Isn't it?
Cakez 7 high.
Thank you very much for subscribing, Mr. Trumple. Good morning. Long time no see, bro. What a nice person. Thank you very much for the support, bro. Good morning. Control Alt Shift F Cakes. No, I'm not. I do not trust you at all. Focus on another view. Hold line tab. Right click, clone to other view.
Am I so out of touch? No.
Hankodes just subscribed. Bezos money.
Thank you very much. Oh, Prime sub. Yeah, appreciate that name codes. Thank you. How's your job going, by the way? You're getting accustomed to your job? Clone to other view. Ah, there it is. Oh, I see. So basically I can have the done list here. And then I kind of need to decrease the font size then a little bit, at least. Oh, that's awesome. So the moment I'm done with one of these things, I can put them all here. That's nice, actually. But I want to increase the size here a little bit, right? Move document? Move document? What? Jira is horrible for obvious reasons. It's more like a stack, a task tracking tool almost always brings with it backlog grooming, sprint thinking, all the worst things for Scrum. Why don't you trust me anymore? Listen, man, you have not misused my trust enough, bro. But thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's see. I do need to clean this up a little bit, though. I still want to do sections in here, though. Like, for example, in gameplay or something, right? So let's say we have a... How did I do the sections at top? I think it was gameplay, right? And then, maybe like that. Done gameplay. And then we put stuff here. So I could, for example... Yeah, I'm not going to do this now. It's just the idea, right? Put it here, like that. Like this. Wait, but if you work together with someone, is not knowing what person is working on right now helpful? You ask them. Yeah, I think that's... See, Mr. Rames, I think you guys are doing it right. Instead of going through a list of things, like you're logging into their Jira board or whatever, right? You're looking at what they're doing. You're just asking them directly, because maybe they have 2 things in their to-do list that they do right now, but they focus on something else. You just ask them, and it literally is like 10 to 30 seconds worth of time, and then you're like, ah, okay, I get it. And you could even communicate better. Well, how big is your team? How many people, Mr. Rames? For those of you who don't know, that's a developer. That's one of the about 12 people. He's part of a team that's making the Survivors game. What is it called? Remind me of the Survivors name again. Something Survivors. With the bugs. Deep Rock Galactic? Deep Rock Galactic, yeah. Steam Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. That's the developer, one of the developers. I wonder how's it going for you? Actually, very well. You do have a good player count still. Yeah, and it seems to be stable. It's neither growing nor falling off. So that's good, right? You guys are happy about those numbers? What do you think? Or not, what do you think? What do you have to say about those numbers? You think those are good? Yeah, you're happy? Let's compare this to Vampire Survivors, which is obviously bigger. Not by much though. So you are about half the size, or maybe a quarter of, not a quarter, a third of the size of Vampire Survivors. On a flat line, on a valley, guys. I'm talking about the valleys, okay? Not the peaks. Interesting. Very nice. Yeah, no, you're half of the size of Stardew Valley. Not Stardew Valley. Vampire Survivors. Really cool. I wonder what do you think makes you more successful than a game like Halls of Torment, for example? What do you think? Because Halls of Torment has less players. And it's also somewhat of a 3D game. What do you think makes your game compared to Halls of Torment more successful? It's going alright. Hopefully 1.0 will bring back some players. It will probably. The setting is unique, but don't you think that Halls of Torment scratches the Diablo 2 itch, so you can also call it unique?
Am I so out of touch?
Oh, Mr. Axel,
No.
thank you.
Axel Fuel just subscribed.
Unique is not good. Maybe it just doesn't look, let's say, good enough. But it's an art style, isn't it? There's other Diablo settings kinda, like Death Must Die, etc. But I think even Death Must Die is much less successful. And if you compare the price, I think your game is just much more expensive. 9 euros compared to 6 euros in Death Must Die. And the player numbers are just vastly different. See, 400. They are like 5 times bigger than Death Must Die. We added mining, so path control, and we added a lot of objectives to the existing formula. Halls of Torment does a little of that too. In our game, the player always has a next thing to do, not just farming kills. Aha! There it is. I see. Yeah, you're right. In your game, you have the wall destroying, right? So you're being blocked by walls, but you can destroy them as well. Yeah, I remember that. Like, he's talking about this mechanic here, guys. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, this mechanic here. The mining. Mine and explore.
Rames,
that one right here.
It's a good question. Having an own IP with a wonderful player base
Smart.
already really helps.
Yeah, that's super fun. It's an objective, yes. It keeps you, like Vampire Survivors on its own, keeps you on your toes, but it definitely does get repetitive, of course, right? It grabs your attention a lot because it's a Vampire Survivors clone.
Thank you,
naturally.
66 for 5,000 bits.
Just kidding.
But it does get stale if you've played it for the 5 millionth time. Yep. Cool. Very nice. Okay. Let's continue with the video because Zoe is gone. We were watching the early access video for those of you who lack context. We are watching early access. We are about 8 minutes in, and we are currently at the part where what do you do before early access? And obviously you're gonna do playtests, and what we were talking about is, well, how can you do playtests most efficiently, even if you don't know anyone or you don't have an online presence, which 99% of game devs, that's how they start. They don't know anyone, and yeah, you can ask your friends to play for you. And since you obviously gonna have Discord, very likely you're gonna have Discord, you can let them stream the game to you while you're watching them, just watching them play the game. And then that is one of the best feedbacks you can get. You don't tell them anything that they need to do. You just let them play, and you can record this stream to your own device, or you can record it and stream it to YouTube, and then you have a backlog of playtesters that play your game, and you can rewatch those videos on a constant basis to figure out what they do and where they struggle. And that is very helpful in getting feedback on your game, and that's something you should do to create a polished vertical slice. So that's where we left off for early access.
And polished and into a state that was ready to go into early access. Again, many of these teams described to me wanting to build a polished vertical slice so that the game felt really polished and refined, even if not all of the content was there, and even if some of the game mechanics were missing, not wanting to ship a buggy, incomplete feeling game. Many of the development teams described to me during these playtesting steps and throughout the development of their game, the concept of establishing a core group of hardcore fans that would give them the best and the most actionable feedback. Many developers described...
So for example, I think very good feedback I've gotten was from AQ. He did some really good feedback stuff. Shade11 also gave me some really good feedback. And there were others too. And so I'm gonna go to these guys first, ask them to play my game, and give me feedback that way.
The process of identifying the users in their communities that were the best at...
Well, if you don't have friends, then you just gotta go to itch or somehow find people there. If you don't have friends, then all you can do is upload a game to itch if you don't want to pay $100 for Steam, and then on itch within your game have a button that is visible enough that sticks out that says provide feedback here, or just feedback, and then someone clicks that button. It maybe opens up a Google form or something that the player can just put their feedback in so that you get the feedback without really having to do much. So the game advertises itself in a way, asks for feedback. Very important. Looking for friends, yeah. And then you could also put a button in your game that says looking for friends.
Giving them good feedback.
There's a Play My Game subreddit too. Yeah, that too. Like, there's ways to get feedback if you really want to. Obviously, it takes time and investment from your side, but that's the most important thing to do during the development of your game.
Complete bug reports and actionable suggestions, and then creating a smaller community or group chat with those fans so that they could use them as an early form of small testing before deploying their ideas to a much wider
That gives me
group.
an idea. A private, like AQ, a private Discord channel, which we're not going to do now because we're going to clean up Discord soon, but a private Discord channel where all of the playtesters are inside, and I can put updates out there first to you guys that playtest my game before I put it out to the public.
This let them test out
Smart.
experimental or risky ideas with a small, understanding group of customers that could give them the best actionable feedback before turning that into a fully refined, polished idea that they roll out to the full early access customer group. Many of the teams talked about also establishing a very flexible and kind of vague roadmap. Internally, of course, they had a clear vision for what 1.0 would be for their game, but externally, they might only describe the next 1 or 2 or 3 milestones, and in an intentionally vague way. This gave them room to adjust, depending on the feedback they gathered from players, and to swap out different kinds of release contents as feedback from players.
But I mean, if you have a clear vision for 1.0 and the feedback is completely opposite of what you want to do, then don't your vision change? This is insanely good advice. We had a closed tester group as well. People who had already tested DRG, and we were good at providing feedback. This is pure gold. Yeah. You learn these things when doing this. Yeah, very important too. I'm gonna do that too and get feedback from the best playtesters that I've gotten so far. Because these people point out exactly what is wrong with the game, and they can give you hints as to what to change. Now you have to be careful too. I don't know if you ran into the issue as well. If you have someone that is really good at your game, their feedback might differ from someone that is new to your game and could maybe even be out of touch. I don't know how you handle that. It's like, for example, think of Path of Exile Giga Chats versus Path of Exile newbies. It's going to be different, vastly different feedback.
Help them prioritize what they were working on next.
How much do you pay for a closed test? Nothing. People do it for free. If they do it for free, they do it. If they don't want to do it and want money, then they don't do it. There's no money involved. You play test for someone because you like the game, or you ask someone to play test, and if they do it, they do. If they don't, they don't.
The team behind Deep Rock Galactic Survivor described to me their setup for their roadmap. They wanted to make it as easy as possible to update that roadmap as things change along the way.
Okay.
They had noticed a lot of really beautiful, rich, high-fidelity roadmaps that they'd seen other developers deploy.
I just noticed. I was completely distracted because Zoe is in the other room. But let me see. That is the game we were talking about, eh? Mr. Deep Rock Galactic Survivors? Who's the developers in chat right
The team
now?
behind Deep Rock Galactic Survivor
Yeah.
described to me their setup for their roadmap. They
Yeah.
wanted to make it as easy as possible to update that roadmap as things change along the way. They had noticed a lot of really beautiful, rich, high-fidelity roadmaps that they'd seen other developers deploy on their store pages. And they wanted to take a different track of a much more minimal version of that roadmap to make it lower cost to update and thus more likely that they would update that on a regular cadence. So how did teams manage their time in early access?
Okay, yeah.
When I was asking about advice for other developers, one of the key points that came back was being honest, both internally and externally, about your team's limitations.
Okay.
In this case, the developer of the game Sulfur was describing there wasn't everything that their team could do.
We have to be honest about our limitations as a team. We're a small team. I repeat that all the time to all over the place. 'Cause
Okay, what you
that has
can
to be
do, for
repeated.
example?
We're a small team and we have limitations of what we can do and how much more a game we can pull out in a short amount of time, and kind of tell them about the strategies we have in place to kind of make the most of what we can do and be economic about. We have certain things we do in our game that we can do fast, and other things would take a long time to make. And it
See, like, this is what I learned too over the course of 4 years. A sign of a good developer is managing your time, because you can essentially do everything that people ask for, but feature A might take 10 months and feature B might take 1 week, and feature B might be more important and feature A might be completely unimportant and not even commercially viable, because you're spending the time investment compared to the outcome. It does not warrant the change, even if people ask for it.
it's almost a way where
So
we have
this
to be
guy's smart.
educational about what game development is, to explain to players what those limitations are.
So being open and honest with their community about what was realistic and what
We're still doing the 10th shop iteration. That is not true, you're wrong. That's this 3rd or 4th shop iteration, okay? Get your facts straight. Hello, Mr. Peter. Good morning. Smart people in here? Yep.
was not realistic for their team to take on helped set player expectations much more clearly in the kinds of feedback that they were looking for. As a summary of the best practices that I heard from game developers, listening to feedback, communicating regularly,
I mean, shouldn't that be... But okay.
testing with that core group of fans,
That's the one I learned recently, yeah. And I haven't done this yet. That's what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna identify the core fans, the people that really like playing my game, and then I'm gonna ask them to playtest my game.
and updating regularly.
Yeah.
Let's look at some more concrete examples of each of these points.
So, for example, the biggest mistake I did in my game, I put out a game 2022 in December 2022, and the next update for that game was 2 years later. That was the biggest mistake I did. Should have never done that. But you don't know that if you don't make that mistake.
The developers of Outlast Trials told me that if you have a clear vision for what you're trying to achieve, it makes it a lot easier to filter the feedback coming from players.
True,
The
as well.
developers of the game Sulfur expressed a similar idea about filtering and prioritizing early access
But
feedback.
what if you don't have a clear vision?
What I find if we run with or chase after ideas or opinions from our players, we
Give me a second.
risk disappointing both ourselves and maybe our players, because I think we have a pretty set and smart idea.
Then you're a lost lamb? I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Lost lamb. Not having a clear vision is, I think, a sign of being inexperienced. Or you're trying to do something new that has not been done before. And so you don't... I guess you are right. Lost Lamb sounds like it could be a game. I need
About how we
to find a conclusion on that. I don't know yet.
Game to the shortest amount of time. So we try to not chase that too much, but still, if everybody's asking for it earlier, we might put it earlier, but it's still a part of our roadmap to 1.0.
Said another way, if you have a clear vision for
You can't find you can't chase every little thing. You gotta filter, find trends in the feedback, and then prioritize those based on how much value they would bring. Yeah, versus how complexity they are to make. It's a skill, takes time to learn. Yep, exactly.
What you're trying to achieve, then you can dismiss feedback that is going to take you too far off that track.
I'm gonna fake some real life today. Oh, my man, Mr. Super Cool. See you later, bro.
Or off into the weeds, or adding huge scope to the game that you do not set.
Yeah, guys, sorry, but I'm gonna have to peel some potatoes. Die Kartoffel ist geschnitten, bitte. Was? Die Kartoffel ist geschnitten. Alles? Die Kartoffel ist geschnitten. Alles? Ja, die ganze Kartoffel. Okay. Ganz wichtig. Was soll ich jetzt machen? Sorry. Okay, I'm back. So like, this is the longest react I've ever done, but let's continue. Okay, so let's go back and basically watch from here. What was he saying? I was completely out of the, like, totally distracted. So hopefully now we can focus and finish the rest in like 15 minutes.
If we like run with or chase after ideas or opinions from our players, we risk disappointing both ourselves and maybe our players, because I think we have a pretty set and smart idea about how we bring the most game to the shortest amount of time. So we try to not chase that too much, but still, if everybody's asking for it earlier, we might put it earlier, but it's still a part of our roadmap to 1.0.
Said another way, if you have a clear...
What if there's feedback for your game that is not part of your roadmap, but it's substantial feedback from everybody? Do you add it or not? What do you do then? So you get like, I don't know, 60% of players want some feature that was not part of the roadmap.
Vision for what you're trying to achieve, then you can dismiss feedback that is going to take you too far off that track, or off into the weeds, or adding huge scope to the game that you do not set out to achieve. The developers that I talked to all had some kind of lens through which they filtered the feedback coming from players.
That's important.
Often they would describe the concept of reading between the lines. not taking the feedback literally from players, but
Yeah, people could say that, oh, I hate your game, it sucks. Map 3 is the worst map of all time. And then some other player says, oh, map 3 was too difficult, I didn't manage to beat it. And then another player says, oh, I love the game, map 3 was a really good challenge. And so reading between the lines is, oh, map 3, the balancing is off, you should change that because it's way too difficult. Right? Something like that. And it's like basically the same feedback, but from different people. You only take the fact that something is wrong, you ignore the solution they suggest, it's up to you to solve the problem. You think that you should ignore their solutions and find your own, but what if you, like for example, I don't know about you guys, but I think the item system in my game has improved drastically. Being able to put items on units like that and seeing the change visually. Like, would you guys say that this is an improvement to the game compared to before, where you literally had items drop, then you click on a unit, then you click upgrade item, and then it would buy the item? Yeah, right? And so I think that this system is really fun and engaging, and it allows you to... The menu is very nice, yeah. And so it's a huge improvement. That was a suggestion that I didn't think of from someone in chat, from Null Exception actually. I suggested the item chest system. I'm a GigaChat dev. I didn't say that, but yeah. When you beat a boss, it will drop an item. Yeah, of course. Items drop on the ground in chests or drop directly into the inventory. Something like that, yes. Some items drop directly there, but I will mostly pick up items. I think I'll do it like that. They drop on the ground, you pick them up. As you gain experience, you will find the solution yourself before others can provide it to you. That's what you're saying, Ramus. You think so? So you find these solutions yourself as you become more experienced as a game developer? Yeah, maybe. Because maybe you also see, as you're making a game, you see other game examples and you take note of those in your head, and then you have like a backlog of solutions, examples not only from your own experience but from other games, and then you're like, oh wait, they did it in this case and that would fit in our scenario. It's reasonably easy to understand, fits very well, and solves these issues with our current system. You build a bigger library of solutions to certain I see. Okay. Very interesting.
Trying to get at the root of what those players are asking for, or what kind of problem they're running into that they're trying to solve. So players may suggest one particular fix, but that may totally not be the correct fix for what you have in mind with the game. So understanding what it is that the player is trying to fix to begin with helps you focus on different ways that you may approach solving that particular problem.
Yeah.
A lot of the teams also described to me that they used the feedback from players to help prioritize work that they already wanted to do.
We wanted to kind of iterate and figure out exactly how big we could make the game, as well as just what the players were most interested in, and kind of figuring out which direction to build it in, which has been super useful to see their feedback.
By doing this and moving things up their development schedule, they could show to players that they were responding to their feedback, and also capitalize on that feedback and that interest in around particular features or scope while players are excited about it and are talking about it.
Okay.
And then, of course, keeping the scope of your game in mind. This kind of goes hand in hand with having a clear vision for 1.0.
Like, for example, so many players suggested multiplayer for the game that would be scope creep beyond anything that I could imagine. And I'm pretty sure that applies to many other indie game developers too. And so, yeah, you need to make sure that you don't do that. If you have a clear
scope for your game, then you can also filter feedback through that to avoid getting too far
off.
Or
so many features that would just add to the gameplay loop, but not redefine it or make it better in general.
Off into the weeds following something that wasn't really part of the core game. We also talked to developers about communication, and these developers often described that they would go out of their way to figure out the best ways of communicating with their players, both to make sure that players are feeling like they are involved in the process, and also to make sure that those players know when to expect the next updates. Often developers describe to me making regular posts along the way, not waiting too long to communicate, being present in chat, so finding out where you're going to hang out with your players and talk to them in closer to real time, and using that as a way, at least in small forms a little bit throughout your development, to engage with players in a more casual, intimate setting. And then also thinking about how much of your communication your team can or wants to localize. So if you have a big Japanese language player base, being able to communicate with them in Japanese might be really helpful. For
you guys remember the game? I don't know which one it was actually. Where it was the Slawmancer that recently released. They didn't have a proper localization for the Chinese player base, and the Chinese players called them lazy because they didn't understand the posts they made. The Slawmancer. Really successful game on Steam, but the Chinese people hate it. So that's why it's mostly positive and not overwhelmingly positive, because the Chinese can't read the update posts and they don't have access to everything. Very interesting. So yeah, localization does have an impact.
Them come along with you in the development process, while also thinking about your English-speaking customers and maybe your Chinese-speaking customers as well.
Yeah,
I talked earlier about the concept of establishing a core group of fans. This is where developers told us that core group of fans was key for being able to deploy experimental features or rough prototypes of new features to get really good feedback from those core groups before expanding and delivering that update to the wider group.
I see that makes sense.
Developers also described updating quickly to fix bugs.
Because let's say you have a vision for your game and you have a core gameplay players and you keep those happy, then the vision stays the same for the game. And all you need to do at that point is just bring it out to more people while keeping the core happy.
Showing that you're responsive and
because you can make changes to your game that alienates your core and maybe brings in more players, but maybe then you try to make a game that appeals to everyone and therefore appeal to no one.
Actionable for those things that you can just fix.
Basically like create a polarizing game, sorry. Yeah,
while taking longer to roll out big, meaningful new updates that may have a bunch of new content and new gameplay mechanics and things like that. And in general, these developer teams described to me expanding scope only when it was supported by the game and the audience. I.e., if you find a lot of success in early access and you have a lot of engagement from players
then you can
clamoring for certain additions to the game or expansions in scope, then you might be able to justify being able to expand the game in that way.
And that's why I think that's what I think about, let's say, multiplayer too. I'm gonna add multiplayer if the game's successful enough. If not, it's a waste of time. And one of the best examples of a game that just kept scope creeping over time, but it could do that because it was already funded, is Kenshi. I'm pretty sure you guys know this game. The game just kept growing over time, and it keeps going up. And why is that? Because he just keeps on adding in more and more features. As far as I know, the guy had a RPG game, a really immersive role-player game, very detailed. And then at some point he added in RTS elements, he added in trading, so many different things that were funded by the early access nature and people buying the game and funding it over time. Really love to see this.
You might be able to justify being able to expand the game in that way. So finally, how were game developer teams choosing when to transition to 1.0, and what kind of things were they considering in order to make that transition?
Big
This
update.
graph simply shows the amount of time that games had been in early access and transitioned to 1.0. The things not represented on this graph are the games.
Most games stay less than a year in early access. Crazy. And some people stay for about 1 year. So the majority of games are 1 and less than 1 year.
That are still in early access and still updating, still engaging with players, maybe after many, many years.
But
there are games in early access that have been in early access for 10 years, and they're still finding quite a bit of value in being in early access and engaging with players that way.
Really?
Having said that, for the games that have transitioned out of early access to one...
That sounds like a long time. How long was Kenshi in early access? So that's a bigger one, right? 2013 to 2018. So 5 years early access, actually. Yeah, but Kenshi just kept getting bigger and better over time. See, that's crazy. He started out with like a valley of 100 to 200 players, and he stayed that way for like 3 years until he finally saw the game growing after 3 years of constant updates. You have to put that into perspective, guys. This game was out for 3 years and constant updates before it started growing. Let that sink in. How much time? Like, let's compare this to Stardust. The game is not even out for 3 years, And he said it himself. Mr. Dev Spudgers said it himself. I'm hoping for a Kenshi, right? This game has been out for 2 years. And it seems like it's growing a little bit. It's difficult, but it's stable. Maybe it's stable, maybe it's growing, maybe it's falling. Seems to be stable enough. Maybe this Kenshi stuff happens here too. And it jumps from 100 players to 200 players. As a baseline. You need to look at the valleys, not the peaks. The peaks can be different YouTubers playing videos about the game. It's about the valleys, that's the important part. If the valley moves up, then your game's growing. Cool, okay.
0.0, we find that some number of them have spent less than a year, some number have spent a year to 2 years, and so on and so forth. But it's really going to vary from game to game. There's not one right answer here. It's going to depend on the size of your game, the eagerness of your team, and what you set out to accomplish to begin with. In asking the developers that I talked with, a couple of them expressed a specific desire to have a short, concise time frame in early access. For example, the team behind the game Sulfur described to me that they wanted to move through early access in a reasonable amount of time, and I think and so I agree with this too, because if you take too long, it drags on, man. Obviously, let's say you have an income in early access and it feeds you, feeds your family, whatever, right? You have enough to stay afloat, maybe even save up some money. I wouldn't feel incentivized to rush out a 1.0 release. I would take my time. But if it's like very close to the edge and it's like, oof, I don't want to spend too long on it, because maybe I need to make a decision on either I'm working on a new game or I finish up this one. It's literally the same idea that why you make small games first. You release small games first, because you get into the habit of finishing a game and releasing it. I think in their picture was a year, 2 years. And if they took too long, well, they might get kind of burnt out. They might disappoint players that they weren't delivering that full 1.0 experience in a fast enough time. The developers of Outlast Trials described that they pushed themselves to deliver less than a year after the launch of early access. That was one of their goals going in. They wanted to move through early access in less than a year. As a counterpoint, the team behind Deep Rock Galactic Survivor described less of a specific time frame for moving through early access, and more about the level of finish and polish that they hope to achieve before they transition.
When your game feels like it could be printed on a disc. What? When your game feels like it could be printed on a disc. What does that mean?
Transitioned out of early access. I also asked developers about how they planned to, or how they did, transition to 1.0. What kind of things were top of mind? What kind of things were important to them?
Full story?
The common themes that I heard from these developers was that they wanted to make a splash with 1.0 launch. They wanted to align it with other platforms, so releasing on other platforms that were not previously available on, and that it was important to plan ahead for any price changes or discounts that they wanted to roll out around that
10% on release.
Let's take a closer look at these points. So when these developers talked about making a splash, they described to me the concept of an update that was not just another update, but a bigger, maybe a capstone update. It might be the final boss, it might be the final level.
Like, for example, in a game like a tower defense game, let's say Kingdom Rush style, you finish the story of a biome or the entire story of the game. That includes multiple biomes and multiple bosses. That would be a 1.0 release. And then you maybe in Kingdom Rush you have heroes, you have all of the heroes completed as well.
It might be the end of the story that they've been building throughout.
An early access for that would be, oh, you only have you have 2 biomes done and half of the heroes of what you want to have and half of the enemies that you're gonna have, and you're missing 2 biomes still. That could be early access. And then you make minor changes in early access. You don't make a, oh, here's biome number 3, here's biome number 4. No, you keep biome number 2, 3, and 4 at the back burner. You work on them, but you don't include them in the updates. You're just gonna make a big updates and include both of them when you do the full release. And the same for heroes.
The development. So this big update rolling out.
Because if you don't, then you have minor updates that maybe bump the players a little bit, but then they leave again.
Coincide with their 1.0 transition was often described as something bigger than just a regular content update. These teams also described wanting to launch on other platforms and timing that with their 1.0 release.
I didn't think about that. This is a nice approach smart.
Because it capitalizes on a lot of buzz happening among players across different platforms.
That's true.
And gets them to all be excited about the same product at the same time. And then the words of caution that I heard from game developers was just planning ahead for any price changes that you want to make to the game and any discounts that you want to run in or around the launch of your game at 1.0. In particular, some of the things to keep in mind. Some games increase the price of their game over their time in early access as they feel like they are adding more value for new customers coming into the game. By the time
Yeah, that makes sense. So for example, you could start out with a game being 8 euros and then over time you increase the price to 12 euros as you add more content to the game and more features.
And they get to
Sounds
1.0, they
reasonable.
feel like the game is 2 or 3 or 4 times bigger than it was when they
That's
first
what Vampire Survivors did. They started at 2 euros and I think now they're at 6 or
launched,
something.
and so the price should reflect that.
Yeah.
An option available on Steam is to run a launch discount. So when you go to 1.0, you can offer a discount on the first week of sales of your game. You can also run your own custom discount at any time. You do want to think about if you are increasing the price of your game, there is a 30-day cooldown after the increase of a price before you can run a discount.
Yeah.
So developers also described to me wanting to look ahead on the various upcoming opportunities, whether that's official Steam sale events or third-party events that are happening on Steam or other opportunities to run discounts on their game that they want to participate in, and planning carefully around when that 1.0
Yeah,
transition
for example,
happens, when they schedule
You don't want to launch your game into summer sale or after summer sale. That would be dumb because people save up their money through summer sale and then they spend all of it in summer sale. Like before summer sale is bad and in summer sale is bad because they're gonna buy other games. And after summer sale is also bad because they don't have any money left. Thank you for gifting a sub to Pirate Software. I appreciate that anonymous gift. My man. All right, let's finish it.
price increases and when those discounts are to take place. So in this talk, I set out to answer, is early access still relevant?
Yeah,
Yes,
really important.
as we found, it is popular as ever, with more and more games releasing in early access, and about the same percentage of all releases choosing early access.
Yeah.
Plus, many of the top-selling new releases coming out every year are using early access as their development model.
It's important.
Secondly, we asked, is early access different now than in the past? And the answer was yes. Player expectations are higher as
Yep.
to the quality and polish of the game going into early access. Thank you to the folks behind these teams that took the time to answer questions and provide us with their insights on how they approached early access. And thank you all for joining us in this talk. I hope you found this helpful. And if you're looking for more resources, you can click the URL below or scan this QR code to find early access documentation.
Thank you. I appreciate that, bro. Steve. Good source of valuable information. Steam is really good, man. The Steamworks development. We watched another video of this. Which one was it actually? Basically how the Steam algorithm works from this guy, Steam Visibility. Really important video. If you guys, let me copy the link. This video right here is, I think, if you want to know about Steam Visibility, there's no better source than this one. Very important one. Because it goes in depth on how the Steam algorithm works. And it explains where you can go with your game depending on what you do. Early access, demo, release, stuff like that. They have a new video about testing as well, Cakez. Testing your game on Steam. Okay, we'll watch that later as well. I'll keep that. Copy link. Put it in React suggestions. You guys have been spamming Pirate Software stuff in the React suggestions. Holy. It's like 10 million videos. Good damn it. Crazy. And yeah, we watched the devlog video already. Mr. Sinocron. Appreciate that though. Sinocron still exists. Okay, so now I'm just gonna keep on developing. And today I wanted to basically test the shop system. Play around a little bit, how the game's balanced. And yeah, that's the new shop. I fine-tuned it a little bit yesterday. Oh, I was just about to shift and left click should lock them. Okay. The yapping stops finally. Okay, bro. Give me a second. Oh, yo, hello, Furious for on YouTube. Good morning. No, I need a W. You know, I need a dick. I need a big fan. True.
Am
Okay,
I
let's
so
see.
out of touch? No.
Anonymous is gifting 1 sub to the community. Hello. Byte
That's my
underscore
ace.
rule underscore V2. The yapping
go.
stops. Finally.
Shut up, okay, bro? I find that important. There was valuable information there. Like, who of you thought that the information about streaming the playtest to YouTube is important? Thought that was valuable information. Give me a second. Oh, I was muted? Sorry, I didn't see that. Sorry, I didn't see that. Yeah. Let me see. 336. That sounds good, yeah. 512. Imagine if Zoe muted him on... Maybe she's muted me by hitting the keyboard, yeah. True. Muted, yeah. Alright, let's see here. Let's build that. Okay, so how does that look? This one is locked now. Okay, so great. Now locking and unlocking works. What I want to do is the following. Whenever I'm holding down the shift key, where is that? I want to make sure that these locks light up. To showcase that, oh, when I click now, I'm basically interfacing with the locks. So that would be... If the key is down, shift, and I click the button. But it's just, I suppose it's... When do I draw the locks? If it's hot, tooltip, locked, unlocked. Here we... Da. Here. It's a baby phone. She tossed that down. Zoe, stop! I think I'm gonna put this in the local scope. Yeah, Zoe, I need that. Thank you very much for giving me back my microphone. This is some high quality babble, yeah. Int animation index. Yeah. Is. So, is key down. Key is down. Key shift. Yep. Biddy biddy biddy. Key shift. Question mark. Then it's 1, otherwise it is 0. And then we supply the Zoe. We supply the stop. We supply the animation index to the function. Okay. Okay, Zoe. Dot animation index. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Animation index. Copy. No, don't toss this down. In my opinion, the background of the items in the shop, the ones that are unlocked, should have a light color like transparent white or something, because the icon is enough to tell that I can buy an item if it's unlocked on me. Oh no, locking has to do with re-rolling. When you lock an item, and I'm gonna put that into the description here, it says locked or unlocked, and then it says will not re-roll. Hey, Zoe! She started the task manager by tossing the baby phone on the keyboard. How did you do that? Did you see that? God damn! Holy goodness! Have you uploaded on videos on Gamedev from beginners? I have one video. Control Shift Escape probably. Control Shift Escape. Oh yeah, probably. Task baby rage. Good damn. All right, let's see. What was I doing? The animation. So now when I click on this and I hold Shift, see that? Locked and unlocked, and this will be part of the description. That. Okay, now I get it, but from someone who just saw this for the first time, some medication would help a lot. Yes. So the way this works is like this. Yeah. This is where I draw the tooltip. Where's the tooltip? Zoe 9. Das ist 9. Das ist mein Keyboard. Hey! That's the perfect loudness. Okay. No, don't toss this down. Zoe, you're gonna destroy it. Okay, she's hungry. Like, I wonder if the food is done. I guess it's not yet done. So we're gonna have to wait a bit longer. She didn't like the mic? Yeah, I spent a lot of money on that, Mr. Zoe. Why not? I wonder what my wife's doing, man. I've heard her like all stream. It's like 2 hours of taking care of Zoe. Like, what the hell? Uh-oh. The cable. Keep up the good work. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, bro. Where's my headphones? Oh, here. Yeah, so it's like, no. Not the mic. All right, so essentially, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I wanted to show you. This is what I want to do with the description. If a button is hot, where is it? Where is it? Here. This is where I show the description. I draw the tooltip. And instead of just doing the description, I can do a char pointer description, which is format text. It takes in a %s for the actual description. Then it does a height of something I set myself. That's hard-coded, let's say 8. And then over here it puts in another %s. And that is a string that depends on, first and foremost, we do item.description. And after that, it depends which string we take. So is the weighted item locked? Is it locked? Then we use the string locked. Item will not reroll. Otherwise, we use the string unlocked. Item will reroll. That's the idea. And then we put the description in here. And then this is what it will look like. It's not gonna be perfect yet, but this is what it will look like. Okay. Let me see. It needs to be more. There needs to be more padding. So let's say 12. The shop is too small. Wait, does it not work? Here? How does that look? Okay. Yeah, so let's say we do 4 or 4. The shop is too small. I think there's a reason why other games make shops bigger. Okay. I don't know what to do with collector of stuff, guys. You tell me. Like, everything he says is negative about the game. It's so tiring. Like, listen, guys, I might have a stressful time at the moment because we're literally preparing for a big birthday party for Zoe. I literally work all day, barely sleep. But it's getting so annoying. What should I do? It is just really annoying to read this on a daily basis. Mortim, shut up, that's yourself, man. I didn't ask you. Give him the Rico treatment. It's just tiring at the moment. Like, listen, guys, when I'm less stressed, we can make jokes about it. It's fine. But it drains me a little too much. Negative feedback means they care. No, like, listen, you do not understand. He's deliberately trying to trigger me. That is not negative feedback, man. Can't even say my opinion anymore. Your opinions are always say something that is bad about the game. It's never something good. It's always bad. Everything you say is the game sucks. Why do you even write? Okay. Shut up. So, I don't know why it's collector's alt account even. Item will not reroll. Click to unlock. Let me put that in gray. Texts. Item will gray. And here, item will reroll. We put it in gray.
Am I so out
too.
of touch? No.
Wazzy Wizard just subscribed.
Oh no! Okay, my man Wazzy Wizard, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the support. Constructive criticism is good. Guys, we're not arguing. See, this is what I mean. Don't argue. I asked you a question. I don't care about what you have to say about it. Ja, gib her. Alles gut. Ja, also ja, ist gut. Warum möchtest du was? If you joke about something one day and get annoyed about it the next, that's some mixed communication. No, that's not true. I'm not joking about it one day. It's just, it's getting tiring because it's happening over years now. Okay, I'm back. Cakez, since you don't read the whole sentence, I don't argue, I will write with capital letters. Constructive criticism is based. Taking a shit is not. So, I agree. But if someone says negative things about your game all the time, you assume that it's just negative criticism. Because they don't say a single positive thing, which just does not make any sense. He skipped the dash, therefore not reading the whole sentence. Ironic. He is agreeing with you. Or maybe I should delete the comma? There would be an option to write with colors, I guess. There should be an option to write with colors, I guess. I need to make sure that this is a little bit bigger, which is a bit annoying. Fuck Tangy TD. Let me see here, give me a sec. Display tool. Isn't it display tooltip? No? Or is it a draw tooltip? Eh? Draw tooltip. Constructive criticism is fine, but dumping on someone's work? Hey, you don't need to tell me, I wrote it. Your game sucks, bro. He's agreeing with you, Cakes. Oh, so you're agreeing with me. I see, that's what I mean. And my communication about the collector of stuff feedback has been that it's getting tiring to always hear or see or write messages, oh, your game sucks, this is bad, this is bad. And the reason why I pick out these messages naturally is because when I see someone criticizing my game, I prioritize that, not only because of negativity bias, you guys know that, but also because if someone actually has valid criticism, I want to read it because I want to make my game better, of course. And so what this ultimately leads to mostly is that it creates useless arguments and we're wasting time. And we do not dump on AAA games all the time. We don't even talk about AAA games. Dump on editor all the time? What's this guy talking about? That's true. We're dumping on my Visual Studio Code because it sucks. Make a game so good they can't critique it? I don't think you can do that, Mr. Soulform, you know. I don't think that's possible. The reason people do it? No, it's literally just Collector is doing it, and Rico stopped doing it because I permanently banned him. But I'm gonna ban Collector for another hour. I'm just tired of this, and unless he stops, I'm just gonna continuously increase the ban time. Because he caused this again. Like, I'm trying to not engage with these comments, and it's my fault for reading them and engaging with it and making it content. I decide what I do, so I'm aware of that, and I apologize. I'm trying. On difficult days I fail, so I failed right now. And so since I failed, I'm apologizing and he gets banned. So that's the way it is, okay? He caused it, I engaged with it, and it's his fault and my fault. You made up your mind already. Just ban him every day he does it and move on. Yep. I think I'm just gonna keep doing that. Just ban. Yep. All right, my brothers. That was uncalled for. What did you ban him for? Constantly saying negative stuff about my game despite me asking to stop.
Demo out? Check. Mixed review? Check. Doesn't work on AMD.
I don't think the shop criticism was valid either. The example provided was the Vampire Survivors power-ups, which isn't really a shop, so it wasn't constructive. No, it was not, I know. It is a different type of mechanic in game, and so completely unrelated. If this was what he should compare this to is Kingdom Rush, and Kingdom Rush has even smaller font, so his criticism doesn't make sense. It's just trying to spark an argument. Anyways, let's just move on. So this is what I want. Actually, no. Wait, do I deliberately put a \n in here? Yes. So now let's test that. What do you guys think about this text? Item will not reroll, click to unlocked. Lock. Unlocked. Item will reroll, click to lock. click, shift, click to lock, I guess. Which obviously is hard-coded now, which is bad. And so that needs to change depending on controller or not later. But for now, shift plus click to lock. And now it looks bad, which means I want to change the tooltip from 110 to 100 and I guess we'll try 20. But then whenever we have draw tooltip, we need to do -60. Which is bad, I know. I should have an option to center this. I know that, guys. Draw to tooltip. This doesn't matter, I think. Yeah, it does. This is -60. It's bad. I know about it, guys. Don't worry, I know. That's totally okay. Text tooltip X position. Should be fine. Draw tooltip description position. Where's that? Ah, -55, -60. And then I think we are looping.
Cakez dirty dog fucker, no soap, no skill, no original ideas, balloons, steal a bastard, no clue, no knowledge,
yep.
no
There it
games,
is.
released, no good text, no code, dumb idiot react.
Hello, Mr. Tcap, good morning.
Streaming, okay, chat.
Ah, you can't be serious. Wait, no. That's the wrapping size that needs to increase. 120, let's do 110. Is that too much? Click to log. Let's do 106. Maybe right click and make it an icon instead of text. Right click and make it an icon instead of text. What do you mean? Hey Speezy, thank you very much for following. And Wuzzy Wizard, sorry I missed that earlier. I really appreciate the support, bro. How's your game coming along, Miglorn? Right, there was your game, if I remember correctly. Shift plus left mouse button? Yeah. Why is that not working? Oh, I can't click on it because it's... Oh, I should be able to lock this. Ah, damn it. Okay, wait. Since I'm not doing the button... that sucks. Okay. Wait, I don't do the button because I don't have enough money. Wait, I do the button. Wait. Ah, I don't have enough cost. So this needs to be put here. If. And then I guess that's an else if, huh? And then over here we have the if we press the shift key, and then over here the if check is gone. I think there we go. Now we should be, but shift didn't work. Oh yeah, shift didn't work. There we go. Because we need to be able to lock items we can't afford yet, because that's the whole point of re-rolling, right? We unlock these items, so then we do this, boom, and we want to keep it till we have money to buy it, because maybe that one is a really good item. I was pretty much done with it, trying to start something new, but it's not going well. Oh, really? What's going on, man? And by the way, Wuzzy Wizard, can you speak a little bit about how much your game is earning, if you want to? Is that possible for you? Because I'm always looking to like find examples of games and how well they do, to like gauge interest, gauge how much maybe I could potentially earn or others could potentially earn, and also to have examples to talk about, you know. Miglorn, you guys. Wait, no, Miglorn. Wait. We watched this game, we even played it. It was a really good game. I had a lot of fun playing it. You basically build a base on the day, and then on the night you need to survive against skeletons invading you. I wonder why you don't have a screenshot at night, man. Don't you want to put a screenshot where enemies approach you at night into your screenshots? Like maybe put this as the first screenshot, and then the second screenshot after that is enemies approaching your base at night. Basically, it's somewhat like Thronefall, but more of a 2D setting. You build up your base. Boom, 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 boom. And then at night, the enemies approach. Yeah, that's the idea. Cakes, look at the fuckery you did. What did I do? That's a cool thing, actually. That's really good. The thing is, though, right-click is buying the item. So I cannot use the right... I had right-click before, but it's used for buying it. Buying items. Cakes, you can add one more slot. Woozy Wizard? Gamer Lyric? Okay.
Am I
Players
so out
total
of touch?
1.4k. Copies sold 1.3k.
Armimo just subscribed. How is
700 to
your
1.8.
progress?
Gross
Are you
revenue
close to
10k.
early access?
Hey, my man, thank you very much for subscribing, Mr. I'm Emo. I'm not that close to early access because I don't have enough content for it, but I'm close enough to finish the gameplay loop for the last time, and then I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna not change the gameplay loop moving forward from this point onward, because I've simplified it enough at that point. It is simplified enough, and yeah. So basically, the idea will stay the same, or the gameplay loop will stay the same. And I'm thinking of being able to put out a playtest for playtesters, private playtests, testers in about 2 weeks. And after that concludes over multiple days, and I ironed out the game, we're gonna work on releasing a demo page and then preparing for Steam Next Fest. When we're done with that, that's when we talk early access. For Steam Next Fest, maybe I want to add in the human element, the princess, but we'll see. Because when we click on the shop, we already have a lot of UI here. It's gonna package a little bit if we click on the shop, and then we want to click on the princess. It's gonna be a bit difficult to do. Who will be in the private playtests? I'll ask people when I get to it. You can see the stats here. I can tell you, I sold 2,000 copies. Interesting. And how, like, can you say a little bit more about how much that is on a monthly basis? Or did it stop? Did the traction to the game stop? Let me see here. Let me see. I mean, you do have players on a daily basis, right? It's not like the game is completely died off. There are players. So I would assume you do have some sales coming in. Maybe like 200 to 400 bucks. Why Steam Play Next Fest? Why not Xbox Game Show right away? What? Cakes, regardless of reception, you will release to early access, right? Yes, I will, of course. No, the playtesters will give me hints on how to improve the current gameplay loop. But I'm not gonna change the gameplay loop and remove the shop. That stays. Because I really like that system, and I'm not gonna change that now. That stays, and the combat stays. The upgrading of items will stay. Of abilities. The skill tree will stay. That all will stay. That's not going to change anymore. But if there's quality of life improvements and gameplay improvements, then yes, I would do those. Like, for example, I don't know, something is way too OP, something is way too underwhelming, stuff like that. But no, I'm locking this in now. I'm tired of changing it left, right, center, and then basically redesigning the game again and again and again. Like, that sucks. No, I don't want to do that. Good luck, Cakes. Thank you, man. Well, it's summer sale right now, but I would say it's about 500 euros a month. Damn, that's good, Woozy Wizard. Very nice. And what about your new game? About the last 2 weeks, I've sold about 200 copies. Wow, damn. Congratulations. Awesome. Yeah, guys, if you want to support the guy, maybe, yeah, right? And you have some money left over. It's minus 60% right now. Miglon Here, maybe that helps. There you go. I think it's a good game. I played it too. Very nice. And I think you even gave me a key. Yeah. Very nice person. He gave me a key. I could play the game. And yeah, very nice. That's his first game released, by the way, using Unreal Engine. Okay, now let's move on here. Let's see. Let's just see how the game plays, I guess. That's Unreal. It's an Unreal, yeah. Oh wait, actually we need to restart here. Ah, okay. So I should probably only click if the UI is not open and keep the shop open that way. What is this top-down Valheim? I don't know if Valheim makes enemies spawn at night that attack you, but it's like Thronefall in a way. Let me see here. Button invisible, keys down, shift. Shift button, invisible button. Wait, shop. Oh, wait, it's called Wagon Wrecked. Here, and if UI is hot, there we go. So now I can click on UI elements without the shop closing. Yeah. What the hell? Yeah, someone at the door. Give me a second, guys. Someone is at the door. My mom came home. My mom came zu Besuch in English. Zoe is 1 year today, guys. She turned 1, level 1, Zoe, guys. She turned from level 0 to 1. Very nice. And my mom visited. First visitor actually today. Giga Chat mom. Very nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm proud of Zoe, man. She reached the first level, man. It's the most difficult one, isn't it? Wait. Just prototyping like crazy. What is the next game, Cakes? What is your next game, Mr. Woozy Wizard? I find that interesting. She's on your level. Okay, I should ban this guy. That's really toxic. Alright, okay, let's actually play the game. Let's see. I should be able to click on UI elements, but it's still... Why? The UI is not hot, but it is hot.
Am I so out of touch? No.
Timps just
Thank you, man.
subscribed.
Timps, I appreciate it, bro.
To Zoe.
Thank you. I appreciate it a lot, man. Thank you very much for supporting. Eh? Maybe it didn't build? If I click the button. Hi, first of all, thank you for your streams and videos. They made me realize that I want to learn C++ for game development. Thanks a lot for the good content. 2. I want to ask about colors, themes and Visual Studio Code. Do you use any? Can you recommend any? Your theme looks basic. Yeah, mine is basic. I don't care about color themes. And I like the basic one. 3. I would like to ask about launch and tasks in Visual Studio Code. I saw your video on setting them up, but where did you learn this? I want to understand how to connect libraries to Clang. Main. Good luck. in your project. I appreciate that, man. What a long message. First time chatter, already chatting. Damn, essaying. Yeah, wow, what a big essay. But essentially, I don't know what you mean by adding libraries to Clang, but I can give you a screenshot of my build file. This is the Windows build file for my game. And you can see here that I'm adding in the libraries. Eh? Why do I have that twice? Eh? What the hell? Oh, I see. Because, yeah, oops. I'm adding in libraries like that to Clang. You link with the library by doing -L, lowercase l, and uppercase L. You can supply a library folder to look for. And if you don't supply the folder to look for, then it will just look in the Windows folder for libraries, the default folder. That's how you add libraries to Clang, if that's what you're asking. And about the launch tasks, where did I learn that? I just Googled from the internet and then I copied them and I played around a little bit. There's nothing special here, like launch, and I basically just launching is invoking an executable in my case, so nothing CMake related. And tasks is just like a command line task. It's like really nothing special. This is something that you would write into the terminal if you opened up a command prompt like this. There's nothing really special here. Cakez, I have tried so many things, mostly multiplayer roguelike, but also tower defense games, city builders, and other types of action games. But I think I will make a new better Miglon in 3, and maybe with multiplayer. But I think that's the best thing you can do, man, Woozy Wizard. Like, you released your game, you are now selling your first game, and you wanted to move on to the next. And the best thing you could do then, when you don't really know what to do, you are prototyping. That's usually what developers do. Prototyping, then they test out the game and they scrap it early before spending 4, 5, 6, 7 years on it and then realizing it doesn't sell. I think you're doing the right thing, man. Paid actor? No. Okay, wait. Why? Why is the shop closing? That's annoying. It's popping the active modal because I'm clicking on it. Bool UI is hot. UI is hot. And it should not be hot. Let's do a thing. Thanks for your answer. Sure, bro. Just find something that works for you, man, and then just stick with it for one project. Unless you really hate the workflow in Visual Studio Code, try to stick to it through one project, and then if you really don't like it, switch after that. Back to something else. Okay, so it goes here, it opens the shop, and then I click on this. Huh? Wait, it closes this? Because? Why does it pop the active modal? Oh, wait. Ah, here it is. This is the one that I need to check. Okay, good. Obviously, I want to toggle this on the button here, so that's fine. Miglon 2 feels nostalgic, man. I mean, I can definitely understand you. You prototyped some games, they didn't work out, and you feel bad about it because it feels like you're wasting your time. But think about it like this. It's better to waste a couple of months on a prototype than it is to waste multiple years on a game that won't sell. So I think you're actually doing the right thing. Maybe you're just getting unlucky, or you're close to finding something that actually works. And how do you, by the way, now that you're talking about it, I find that interesting. How do you determine the fact that your prototypes did not work out? What did you do? Did you have others testing the game and they told you it sucks? Or what happened? Jesus, I'm so glad my Jeff comes over in an hour. My stones are full. Thank you very much for that message, bro. I appreciate that, man. Nice. Okay, so now we can click on UI elements. Yeah. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to achieve yesterday. I want to click on... I feel like the tangerines need bigger rectangles. Let's see, chocoladas. At least a bigger click area. Is this here? Game state have a hero. Yeah, this is it. Point and rect center. Size plus equal 6. Wow, I even plus maybe plus 12. So it's 3 pixels on each side. Now it's 6 pixels on each side. Let's see. Eh? It's still like pixel perfect. So if I click here, it's not actually. Right. Alright, 24. Okay, guys, you think this is better? Or is 24 too much? Maybe 18? 9 pixels on each side? Crafty building games is the best genre to make for revenue. And I feel like because of Miglon, I really have a lot of experience of what works and what doesn't. But for how I choose what to continue with, I make a basic prototype, let people test it, and also I try to measure the scope. I see. And if it's too big, it's not worth it. How do you let people test? Can you go more specific into how you do that? Because I find that really important. How do you do it? Yeah, Janice, that's important, right? Do you let them play on Discord or something? Why would the shopkeeper keep his shop outside the castle gates? He wants to make money. Jacob, isn't it obvious? Ah, that's a bit much though. Maybe 18, maybe 16. Let's reduce it by 1 pixel on each side. What's your wife doing in chat, Cakes? 45. Okay, 45-minute ride. Okay, bro. That's not my wife. Okay? Like you said over Discord, they stream the game to me, or they just come over and play my game and play it. So your friends play the game, Woozy Wizard, and they tell you if they like the game or not. Interesting. Or do you have also like generated some core gameplay testers that you trust, that are not your friends, but you met them through, let's say, Miglorn or other channels as well? Interesting. Guys, I need to go to the bathroom really quickly. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Friends? Yeah, but friends, right? Okay, I'm back, guys. That's why I asked, why would shopkeeper keep outside the castle gates? Let's see. Guys, I find this really cool that Woozy Wizard is, I think he's like basically doing everything correctly. Like you said over Discord, I stream the game and they just come over and play my game to my place and play it. What if you don't have friends? Yeah. I've worked in a game studio that made Bramble the Mountain King as a VFX. Oh, wait, Bramble the Mountain King? I love this, you know, guys. This is so cool. That's the awesome part about streaming. Damn, big game, bro. You meet some view pages? Nudity? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What the hell? Why? Uh-huh. Is this safe? Wait, this is safe. There's no nudity. What you talking about, bro? Oh, I see. It's the last image. Okay, I guess that's got to be some sort of demon, right? What are these? Succubus? Yeah, really cool. Very positive game. Very, like, you're missing 1% to be overwhelmingly positive. Bruh. So this is where you worked on? What you worked on before? I'm pretty sure the game is made in Unreal, right? 18, yeah, because of, I guess, nudity, right? Let me see. Yeah, Unreal Engine. So you made your game in Unreal Engine 2. Makes sense, right, Miglon? This is made in Unreal Engine 2. Yep. Cool stuff, man. Congratulations. Very big game. Very nice. And so, did you quit that job? Or are you still playing? Are you still part of the team there? I have worked, so it's the past tense, right? That means you are no longer working there. Good morning, Mr. Pikachu. Hope you're doing good, man. Nice. So basically, you have game developer friends that tell you if your game works or not, and since they have a lot of knowledge, they can also give you proper feedback. Which is a special situation that you have. Not everyone has that, but interesting, yeah. So you kind of need to meet people that give you honest and good and proper feedback. That's what I'm currently trying to look for too. Like good feedback, or have them stream the game to me so that I can decide on the feedback myself, yeah. That's really important. Morsen, Robin, and Lelexi, thank you guys for following. Okay, let's see here. I want to at least play it a little bit and see how far we can get here. For example, oh wow, I can get a big upgrade here. The bow is way too small for the upgrade that it does. This needs to be a better looking bow, for sure. Oh, man, like it's really difficult not to get triggered by this. When you ask for one thing, it's just never taken seriously. Like, not a single time, man. Like, it's so frustrating to constantly have to ask to please close the door. Man, I don't know, man. It sucks, bro. It just fucking sucks. I have to say it, man. Just please. It's not that difficult. Who's not closing the door? Let me see here. Oh, we have 3 skill points. I think that's not visible at all. How many skill points we have? It's not visible. Like, you lose. This is not visible enough, unfortunately. Why do you keep the toilet seat up? I just sit down. It's faster. Stick a printed paper on the back of the door that says close the door. Maybe they'll remember to close the door. Yeah. How do you make games in C++? Is this a particular framework or just plain OpenGL or Vulkan? This is, it was OpenGL, but now it's, what's it called? what is it called? DirectX. And it's turned into somewhat of a framework, but a really bad one. DirectX 11, not 12. 12 is too much work for too little outcome. Alright guys, let's see. So I want to go with the attack speed, armor piercing, and attack speed, and then Lone Ranger. I like that keystone. Because the Lone Ranger gives me... Oh wow, look how much damage I do now, guys. We can get this. And then basically nothing gets past this guy. Look at this. Damn, I think that feels good. What do you guys think? Does this feel good? I like it. The gameplay is awesome because I can visually see the items I can afford. Oh, there it is. We got a chest drop. Oh, we got Pierce. That's also a good update. Let's see. But it's only one projectile. This shoots 2 projectiles. So I think this is still better. Because it shoots 3. But that means I can get a ranger with a good item next. I like it a lot, man. Oof, I'm losing. Yeah, that round is crazy. Even with all of the upgrades, I'm still losing. Okay, I need to rebalance that, because round 4 is too difficult. Very nice. Oh, and where did I get that item from? I guess it dropped. Cool. Very nice. I feel like I did not earn enough money to really do something. But, nonetheless... Maybe add a light aura to visualize the rarity. You mean in the level itself? Around the weapon or something? To visualize, okay, this is the rarity of the item. Yeah, something. Should probably do that. I'll think about how to do that. Because obviously, I think the longbow looks better than this bow. I could definitely draw this bigger. We'll have to see. I have the Bramble game in my library. Amazing vibe. Must play it though. Install one of those things at the top of the door which automatically close it. Yeah, but I mean... I don't know. Okay. I lost. Heavily. And I think the longbow is just too big compared to the upgrade. Or I need to make the upgrade bigger. Because when I get... Do we get another item here? No. Can we reroll? I have another longbow. Okay, so with 140 I can get another longbow. Let's actually lock that in. I want to keep that too. When I click spacebar, the game doesn't start. Because I have... here, and that's, I guess, the input section in UI. Here. It says when I click space, and I don't have active modals. I either don't have active modals, or the only other active modal is I have exactly one. And the one modal is shop game state, the shop modal. View shop modal. There we go. So basically either the shop is active. Let's do it const bool shop active. Or shop open is this part here. Then we have a named boolean that's a little bit easier to read. And then we can say either we have no modals open or the shop is open. Only the shop or only shop is open. And then I can still press the spacebar to start the level. And this will be turned into a game action. So let's see. If I press spacebar now, yeah, it starts. Very nice. Very important, because I think that is one of the good features of the game, being able to start the game with the spacebar. Okay, so now we have this bow. I think the upgrade from the longbow to the recurve bow feels weak. So that needs to be a bigger upgrade. A bigger bow, more colors, better sprite. I think it's too small. Doesn't feel like a good upgrade. Do not do early access when having a game almost ready with at least 7,000 wish lists. Hello, I just entered. I don't think the wishlist count will determine anything for my game, but at least the game needs to be fully done almost. Yeah, I agree. At least the gameplay loop and enough content for multiple hours of playtime. Yeah. Match. Can you add this to the clip redeem cakes? What is this? Bro, DX. Oh my. I'm gonna lose my mind. 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 If I can't find the stupid function in here that's causing the error. Where is DirectX in it? Bro, I literally replaced this 10 days ago. It's called DX Init now, you stupid. Oh my god, you dumbo. Holy. Okay. I'll think about it. Download the clip. It doesn't beat the big fat. Yeah, that's true. 100%. Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you guys joining today. I hope you had fun. I'm gonna send you over to Mr. Dev's Budgets. I still have a long way to go for the early access, and the demo will be done soon, but there's still quite a few ways to go. And yeah, today is Zoe's birthday. We want to celebrate that together, and so it's gonna be a shorter stream today. That's why. Tomorrow will be a normal stream again, back to normal. Good development time, juicy react to, and getting closer to, hopefully closer to release, right? Happy birthday, Zoe. Yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you had fun today. I'll see you all tomorrow, okay? Have a wonderful day, guys. Peace. Bye-bye. On YouTube as well.